Welcome back to Yoast. It's been a long time. It's nice to see you. I'm pretty much all recovered now from the accident. Today on the dyno, we have the sxt4. You guys probably know nothing about this car, where it came from, or why we even have it. But I'm going to flip the camera around here. I'm going to show you the car, show you the ins and outs, show you what, we've done to fix it since we bought it, because obviously we buy project cars that don't run 100% because that's what my brother loves to buy. And then we are going to get to making some dyno pulls on what would be considered a 100% stock 40,000 mile Srt4 with just a 3-inch exhaust. I'll explain it when I flip the camera around. All right, so we're going to do a little backstory on Neons just so you guys can kind of understand the sxt4. So this is a 95 Neon Coupe. This is a 95 Neon NYG, which is the green-yellow color. So the first versions of Neons for 94, 95, you can get 4-lug 4x100. They come with remote mount coils. And then they come in these special colors and stuff like that. And the neon colors, the name Neon, because of the fancy colors, there's multiple over the years of the first-gen Neons. And then second-gen Neons, obviously the Skittles. So that was the joke, ongoing joke. So 95, 94 cars, you can get 4x100 wheels. You get your remote mount coil, your single cam, your NYG. And then this is the second generation of first-gen Neons, which is, I think, 96 through 2000 or 99, because that's actually a second gen and that's a 2000. This is an ACR, so basically ACR is like Coney shocks, a factory fog light bumper with no fog lights. Obviously this is my ACR that runs mid 11s in the quarter mile. We're going to turn it up this year and try to go 10s on the stock transmission. We have another one in the backyard that's a single cam that's automatic that we're going to 2.4 swap in the future. We're also going to take the turbo single cam out of this one and 2.4 swap it. That was a 2.4 car that we bought as a good donor car. The motor was unfortunately blown up. And then this is another parts car we have here, which is a 2000, which is a first generations for the second gens. And then our sxt4, which is a 05, would be a second generation for the second gen. And then obviously they released the Srt4 with the 2.4 turbo, yada, yada, yada. Now that you had your little back information on Neons, we'll go in there and actually look at the sxt4. Alright, so the sxt4, it even has little custom badges right there. You know, your dual neon exhaust. So this is a 05 base model XXT. A dude had a 40,000 mile Srt4 with crane 12s in it, head studs, and a clutch. Got rear-ended, swapped the entire driveline, brakes, everything off of an Srt4 with 40,000 miles on it into a base model Neon SXT. The wing obviously doesn't belong there. It has a 3-inch downpipe that he made. The actual turbo outlet is still original. It has a Chinese replica TDO4 Srt4 factory turbo replacement. And what else did we have to fix? Both of the front brake calipers, since I got it, I had to replace because they were locking up. The clutch was slipping because of the DCR aftermarket fork that's in the car wasn't fitting properly. The clutch pedal wasn't adjusted properly. It has an aftermarket shifter in it. It has a 3-inch exhaust with a resonator from Flowmaster, and then a DNA dual exit rear. Not really the biggest fan of it, but that's what the car came with. The entire interior is also swapped to Srt4. As you can see, gauge cluster, dash, everything. Seats. So basically, the sxt4 is a base model 40,000 mile Srt4. Now, as I just mentioned, the clutch slipped when we got it and it smoked heavily. So this car was on Marketplace for months. And a lot of the Neon people inboxed about it, asked the guy about buying it, but it was local to us in PA, about 2 hours away. So we went and looked at it. I kind of figured out real quick what I could fix and make it run good. Clutch slipped, brakes did the thing, but the car also sat for many years since the swap was done. Does have AC, does have everything, power steering. You'll hear the belt squeak. The belts don't line up like most Srt4s, so the belt squeaks. The belt's actually off a PTGT. The only problem we have now is it does overheat a little bit every once in a while if you're sitting in traffic. It does have an aftermarket rad in it. It doesn't have a factory shroud, and it has these real cheap AutoZone fans. You can't really see it down there, but we'll get to working on that. We'll get us a shroud. We'll get us a factory, or use this radiator, but get it to flow more with the fans, and then go in HP tuners and fix tuning wise, get the fans to kick on earlier, and then we shouldn't have that problem. In this video, we're going to do 2 or 3 dyno pulls the way it is now with the factory working clutch. It does just have a factory replacement clutch in it. I didn't go anything crazy. We do plan on in the future swapping this car to complete stage 2. And trying to make around 18-19 pounds of boost. Right now, in the current form, with the clutch fixed and it worked running properly, it makes around 15 pounds and then falls to 12 pounds up top. If you know anything about the Srt4s, all you need is a 3-bar map and a tip from a caliber Srt4, and then a little adapter bracket, and then a HP tune to make your car into a full stage 2. But you also need the wastegate with an adjustment, so you can pull a little tighter on the wastegate flap, and then you should be able to, if you get it correctly on the first time, hold 18-19 pounds, and the car should make somewhere in the 260 horsepower range. But if you missed earlier, as I said, this car does have head studs in it. This car does have Crane 12s in it. It did have the aftermarket cam from, or clutch from when it came from the other car. The biggest reason why this car was for sale is because no matter what happened, they've put, I think, 3 different owners or 2 different owners put 3 different clutches in it, and the clutch has always slipped. So I figured it out. It was an issue with the fork and the clutch pedal adjustment. The clutch does not slip anymore. As you've seen, if you go on my Facebook page and you've seen dyno videos, you can see the sxt4 on the dyno, and the clutch did slip on a pull. The dyno wasn't even loaded. I have a 224X XLC dyno jet with a eddy current breakover, so I can actually load the dyno, unlike most dyno runs you see. They're not loaded. If I use the load, it slipped the clutch instantly. With no load, it still slipped the clutch. So now with a working clutch, we're going to get to doing 2 to 3 dyno pulls. Then we're going to swap the car over, wastegate, map sensor, tip sensor, injectors. I forgot about injectors. Stage 2 does come with different injectors. And then we'll get it to hold 14 pounds. And then later on, once we get this car working 100%, we'll get a turbo upgrade or something of that nature. 400 horsepower neon is always fun. So let's get to the dyno pools. All right, so let's look over the stock tune SRT or sxt4 dyno. As you see, I roll into it right at $3,000. I do 3rd gear pulls. I always see people comment about the 3rd gear pulls on the dyno. As long as you calibrate the dyno, the gear you do the pull in doesn't matter, because it is reading the speed of the roller versus the gear ratio and the RPM you calibrate into the dyno. I've done it in 3rd, done it in 4th, I've done it in 5th just to test the theory. And as long as you recalibrate the dyno every time for the different gear ratios, for the different RPM, your numbers will be within 1 or 2. And it's nothing crazy, but I always get the comments. So, 216 wheel horsepower, 246 wheel torque. You see the fat power curve of good torque from 2800 RPMs to right around 4500 RPMs. That is the turbo making the 15 pounds on the hit. As soon as it hits peak torque, the turbo starts falling off, and that's where you see the downward graph towards 6000 RPMs. This car does have Crane 12s in it, so it does make for a very nice power band, and the factory ECU tune is pretty good. 3-inch exhaust also helps out a ton. But we just spent the last 2 or so hours converting the car to 3-bar tip and map, changing wastegates, and changing injectors while working on the NYG. And we're going to get to flashing a stage 2 tune in to match the tip, the map, and the injectors. And then we'll get to doing a pull. We'll see how much more boost we have, and we'll also see how much power we can make with the sxt4. Now, as I just mentioned, we did get the NYG inside, and as you see, it is coming apart. So this was a junkyard single cam. We got it for very dirt cheap out of a scrap car. Put it in there, had our fun with it. It was fun. It lasted a while. There's actually nothing wrong with the motor. The motor still runs. It drove into the shop. But we are doing a 2.4 NA swap into this car because this thing was really fun before on about a 35 shot. So this car has been through many renditions. It's been on nitrous. We had it set up for autocross. It does have BC coilovers. We do have 15x7 RPF 1s for it with R888Rs. I mean RE71Rs. I do not like R888Rs. They're not great in the winter, but I won't rant about that. But so junkyard single cam's coming out. We're going to put together like a 10-to-1 2.4 whatever extra dual cam 2.4 parts we have laying around. Try to throw a somewhat nice little dual cam setup in this car. Goal would be 180 wheel, 170 wheel with a dual cam and maybe 180 wheel torque. And then this little neon will probably go deep 14s, if not high 13s on a tire. The fastest we've went with the single cam turbo when it was a 12-to-1 single cam. On 12 pounds, it went, I think, 12.8 at 108. This motor on 8 or 9 pounds, when we dynoed it, made like 210. The old built single cam, when we dynoed it on 12 pounds, it made 280 or 270. But it also had a crane 16 cam and 12-to-1 compression. That motor I broke over revving it, racing a supercharged Mustang. I did win, but I did break the car. But it's going to be its like 5th rendition. It's going to be 2.4 NA swap. I'll do videos on that as I put it together. This video is still on this. Right now we are currently waiting on our buddy Steven. He is our tuning expert for stock ECU stuff. He was going to give us a stage 2 map with the mods that we did. And then we will get to doing some dyno pulls with the sxt4 again. Alright guys, so caliber Srt4 3-bar map sensor. 3-bar tip sensor, aftermarket wastegate, squeaky belt, good old Srt4 problems. Our buddy Steven just gave us a whole stage 2 tune from basically the Mopar stage 2 that comes with it that matches these injectors and everything. We're going to get it warmed up. Maybe. We're going to get it warmed up to at least, you know, not dead cold. And then we're going to get you some pulls. Hopefully it makes a decent amount of boost and makes some more power. Alright guys, so if you're still along for the video at this point, you've made it pretty far along. We've talked about too much neon stuff today. So now that the car officially has a base map stage 2, a 3-bar map, and a 3-bar tip, we've done 2 to 3 dyno pulls. The car has done nothing but lose horsepower. So the first hit, I made a partial hit with the new settings. It made 215 and 255, which would be a 1 horsepower gain and like a 10 torque gain, and then every pull I've made after that, it's lost and lost and lost power. The boost is showing that it makes 16 to 17 pounds, but it falls off by 10 up top. So this car does have a Chinese turbo on it, and now has a questionable wastegate on it. The tune sounds better. The car feels more peppy inside. So I'm not relying on the dyno number, but according to the dyno, with the proper settings, we just did a stage 2 on a stock turbo with a 3-inch exhaust and a 3-inch intake, and the car technically lost 25-30 wheel horsepower. There could be restriction. It does have stock front mount, does have stock piping, but it also has a stock turbo. So leave down in the comments below, why do you think the car lost horsepower by adding a better tune, better injectors, wastegate, and 3-bar tip and map. We're gonna work on it a little more off camera, see what we can come up with. I'm gonna go test drive it right now because it feels better on the dyno. It definitely has more boost. It's definitely a little more spicy. But according to the graph, after the fourth pull, we're down to 188 horsepower and 229 foot-pounds of torque. So we have technically done nothing but lose power by modifying our base model. Well, an SXT, I'll hear it in the comments, it's not a base model. It's the fanciest model of SRT you can, or of Neon you can get. But it is, you know, to me a base model. It's a Neon. So let me go back here, and so it's going to be run 15. So run 15 versus the last run we just did. Yeah. So we went from 216 horsepower and 246 pounds of torque to 188 horsepower and 229 foot-pounds of torque. The curves do follow each other, so it could be a bad turbo. Yeah, like I said, we've changed wastegate, injectors, map, and tip sensor. So maybe the turbo is just old and worn out. This car did set for many years after it was built and put together, so we're going to have to figure it out. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you enjoyed the Neon content. The NYG is coming soon. My ACR is coming soon. We're going to go after a 10-second pass with a stock T350 transmission.